Hey guys, it's Susie again, and you're watching Susie Says. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. First and foremost, I do appreciate it. I did get like 100 subscribers. I was on Sir Morbid's live, and oh my gosh, I appreciate you guys so much. If you can, share, like, follow, and just I need my engagement up, and I do appreciate if you even click this video. So thank you. I'm gonna go over Gypsy's book, My Time to Stand, but she lies the whole book. I'm on chapters 9, 10, and 11. I went over 6, 7, and 8 before. Check out that video because it's going to be a continuation. All right. Thank you so much. Let's get started. In my last episode, I went over how she ran away with Dan, and I feel like she left little breadcrumbs to kind of lead her mom to Dan because she wanted them to have a confrontation. They didn't. Dan let her go, and when she went home, she claimed her mom smashed her computer, then tied her to the bed for 2 weeks. Remember that? And she said the whole time she was tied to the bed, she was praying, and eventually God heard her prayers because after 2 weeks, her mom unhooked the chain and let her go. She said it took a while for her and her mom to regain their trust. They were like walking on eggshells around each other, but apparently, eventually she did. And for some reason, Gypsy tried to plot another escape. She said she had hid some stuff behind the couch in a backpack, and something ticked her mom off. One day, her mom just started looking through everything, going through her room. Like she didn't know what she was looking for, but when she found it, she was going to know. So Gypsy said she was like next to the couch trying to hide her backpack full of stuff, and her mom was like, "Hot, that's where something's hidden." And she finds the backpack, and she's like, "Gypsy, not this again." They're going back and forth. She's upset. Gypsy said there was a BB gun and there was a Chinese dagger, like a talisman, on the kitchen table. She said she hurried over. Her exact words was she rushed over. She grabbed the dagger and the BB gun, pew pewed her mom 10 times with the BB gun. And she realized it wasn't a real gun. There was only little like wounds, little slits in her skin. And she was like, her mom was in shock almost. And her mom just like stepped back into the bathroom. And her mom was like, sitting on the toilet. She claimed, now this is what I want you to know. She claimed she went to the bathroom with a dagger in one hand and a knife in the other. Now, mind you, she's in a wheelchair. She said she got to the bathroom and she's asking her mom all these questions like, why can't I be like Aaliyah? Why can't I listen to the Backstreet Boys? The Backstreet Boys. So now she can't play with Barbies. She can't listen to the Backstreet Boys. And she's just like, why won't you just let me go? And Dee Dee is saying like, oh my God, I love you. You're all I have. Yada, yada, yada. Gypsy breaks down, cries. They clean up she helps clean up her mom. And she said after that, I'm guessing she decided to stay. After that, she and her mom were equals. She said her mom didn't realize baby could be dangerous or baby could be violent or something like that. So she said they were equal. Now, my thing is, I almost can't even imagine Gypsy with a dagger and a gun and a wheelchair. Like, I mean, I guess she could have sat one down, but she specified she had both in her hand and she rushed to the kitchen. Here's my thing. She wasn't in a wheelchair this whole time. She was up walking around, grabbed the dagger, grabbed the gun. She was out here looking like, I don't know, an assassin trying to get her mom. She claims she was in a wheelchair. She even specifies, whole time I was still in a wheelchair when she did all of this. So you're willing to pew pew your mom and point a dagger at her, but you're not going to get out that wheelchair regardless. Were you just lazy? I'm starting to think you were just lazy at this point because it just doesn't make any sense. That was one part of the book. And then after that, she said they were equal. Now, this is a big point that I need to make. I feel like there's a missing chapter. That is the end of chapter 9 where she says they were equal. Because I'm going to need chapter 9.5. That's why, because there's a missing chapter. Because suddenly chapter 10 starts, I met Nick, yada, yada, yada. There's an agreement that was made we didn't hear about. Gypsy didn't speak about this. The way how chapter 9 ended was the whole time I never got up from the wheelchair, but from here on, Mama and I were speaking different languages. I want to know exactly what was said in these different languages because she starts chapter 10. I met Nick on ChristianDatingForFree.com on October 12th, 2012. So Here's what I think. I'm going to give you chapter 9.5 since Gypsy didn't do it. Her mom agreed. Listen, Gypsy, you obviously want your freedom and you understand this is not real. You want to run away. You want to go be guys. You can date. You can date online. I'm almost certain, like I would bet money Dee Dee told Gypsy she can date online and that she can have a boyfriend as long as it was online. And I'm sure that made Gypsy so happy because she could actually at least explore what she wanted to explore. And again, it is her right. She's an adult. And I'm sure Dee Dee understood if this is the only thing Gypsy wanted, we can continue this con. I'm going to let her do it. And let's be honest, Gypsy knew it was a con at this point. I'm pretty sure they had some type of agreement like, listen, we can still get free Disney trips. We can get free housing. We can get free, as long as you pretend you're sick. And, you can date online if you want. I would bet money. Gypsy, I'm calling you out, girl. Prove to me that Dee Dee did not have this conversation with you. All right? So there's a missing chapter. There is a missing chapter. However, let's continue. So after she met Nick, she talks about how they would like talk a lot online. They were in their own little fantasy world. She said Nick introduced her to the BDSM stuff, which is a lie. We already know. Dan already said Gypsy introduced him to that. And that was long before Nick. All right? So yeah, she said Nick introduced her to BDSM. She also states that he would send her items in the mail. Items in the mail that were items in the mail. I don't know if I should say it. Phallic type items. And he would have her insert them in her mouth and stuff like that. So I don't believe this part either. And here's why. She states that Nick sent these items to her house. She would have to like stalk the mailman to make sure she intercepted the package before her mom got it. Now, here's why I don't believe that. If you read the messages between her and Nick on the night he went to help her unalive her mom, he asked for the address. And this, like, I can't believe this isn't talked about more. He asked for the address. If he was confident enough to send an inappropriate item to her through the mail, I'm sure you knew her address. And she was like getting them. You saw videos of her doing things with them. Yeah, that's a lie. She said Nick had her doing all this stuff. I'm sure Gypsy was probably stealing them from the store, or Gypsy just ordered them herself. She wants us and Nick to believe that her mom did not know she was talking to guys online. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I feel like they had some type of agreement in chapter 9.5, and this was fine. Dee Dee knew she was talking to guys online. Now, she may have not known about the whole meeting up at the movie theater plan. I feel like that did take Dee Dee by surprise. However, I don't think she was upset. I think Gypsy should have spoken to her about that first. Been like, hey, I know we got this whole con going on, but I want you to meet this guy. And Gypsy didn't do that. And I think if Dee Dee was upset about anything, it was her being blindsided by the whole situation. Because again, Gypsy's supposed to be sickly in a wheelchair and she's running around with a guy in the movie theater. That does not look good. And this is a movie theater that did a lot for them. Like, even in the documentary, the people at the movie theater talked about how much they loved Gypsy. So people knew Gypsy was sick. So having her run around in the bathroom with a boy was like, that's not a good look. We can do that somewhere else. Not at this movie theater. This is where we're getting our con on. You can't do that. They're going to know. So yeah, Nick was not sending Gypsy these items. Gypsy already had these items or she bought them herself and she was trying to impress Nick. Honestly, she really wanted Victor because she had a plan. She had something she needed Victor to do. And that's my take on that for sure. Continuing on, she also states Nick was the only adult in her life who knew she could walk. Now, I'm going to insert a clip right here.
I wish he would have been more responsible. He was the first person I ever told that I could walk.
I first met Dan at a sci-fi convention called VisionCon.
We would trade messages back and forth for a while. He was the very first person that I ever told that I could walk.
She's a liar because I'm sure she had told a lot of people. I'm sure she told all the guys online that she can walk. So yeah, Dan knew, Nick knew. She was just telling everybody at this point, hey, I can walk, because she just wanted a guy so bad. Also, I don't think she specifies that Nick has a developmental delay, that he has the mind of a 15-year-old boy. You know, she doesn't specify that, but she wants to talk about how sick and twisted he was and how he had all these fantasies about things. I just felt that was important, that she should have stated that right then and there. She doesn't. She goes on to talk about the movie theater incident, how she and Nick had devised this plan. First, she said that she was like trying to think of ways her and Nick could be together. And she said she wanted to get pregnant with Nick. So she said she had posted on her secret Facebook some prenatals she had stolen and a pregnancy test. And Nick's mom was like, no, no, told Nick, no, this is not happening. And it's so funny because she tried to, you know, she always wants to get pregnant. Gypsy will get pregnant, as you can see. She, whatever. The mom was not cool with that at all. So their next plan was for her and him to meet up. They were going to find a way that her mom could meet him as well, and she would be okay. She was treated like each other. That's it. She said it was Nick's idea that he was also going to take her virginity while they were at the movie theater, because that way she would be his. Okay. So the day came when it was time to go to the movie theater. She had sent Nick money to come down to where they were and to watch the movie with them. She was so excited. She speaks about how she was having cramps that day. It was her time of the month. And she had a diaper on and it was so uncomfortable. It was rotten up. It was like the polyester dress and the diaper was not a comfortable mix. However, when she saw Nick, she was so excited. She said her mom would not let her sit next to Nick, which in the Oxygen documentary, Nick said they sat together and the mom barely paid attention to them. So again, who are we going to believe? She said she asked to go to the bathroom and, you know, Nick followed and they went into the men's room stall. She said she chose the men's room stall because the ladies' room would be too obvious. Her mom could just go in there and find them. So that was why she chose the men's room stall. And she said when Nick was about to do his thing, he realized it was her time of the month. He was a little grossed out. She said they still did something, but it wasn't really any type of like intercourse or anything. It was what I guess Nick called intercourse. So they left out the movie theater and they went back in. When the movie was over, she said her mom was so upset. Her mom like stormed to the car. She said she knew her mom wouldn't leave her outside because it would have been too high profile. They were too visible out there. So she got in the car with her mom and they went home and her mom locked her in the shed. Yeah, her mom locked her in the shed. She said her mom told her to get out of the chair. What were you thinking? She said. I could tell she was seething because she was sighing to catch air, her breath erratic and heavy. Are you trying to kill me? You know I'm not well. Gypsy, I swear, if I die, it will be you who killed me. You already tried to shoot me once. Dee Dee said that. Dee Dee, you were so right, and I'm so sorry, Gypsy, unalived you. But yeah, she said when they got home, she locked her in the shed. You know, the little shed next to the house that's like a little suspicious. Dee Dee locked her in there. And she said while she was in there, she had dreams about Christy and Rod being her family. I thought that was a little weird because it was like, you know, Christy and Rod don't like you, right? You make it seem as though you don't even know them, but yet you want them to be your family. Mia, she's coming for you, girl. She's trying to take your life. Like, you can let her. Honestly, let Gypsy do what Gypsy do. You will live longer. I'm going to actually read the little passage she has. After ripping open one of the bags to find warm clothes, I finally fell asleep. My telepathic messages worked, but not in the way I expected. I had a dream in which Dad and Christy were cooking in the kitchen of the little blue house. I was my age, but my body was childlike. I sat on the floor, teasing my two cats with feathered toys, but they turned into my brother and sister, Dylan and Mia. I was so happy, but so mad at them at the same time. Happy because I was no longer alone, but mad because my dad had left me for them. Then, suddenly, I'm at the police station with all these really nice people wrapping blankets around me. Christy and Dad were there talking to the detectives. Christy was crying, even though she looked happy. The detectives and the nice people with blankets met all of us in a room. They were introducing me to Christy and Dad because in my dream, I didn't know them, even though I did. It's hard to explain. Gypsy, do you know where you are? The detective asked. Where's Mama? I asked. scanning the room of adults who looked at me like I was about to break. They proceeded to tell me that Christy and Dad had been looking for me all my life. Gypsy, we have to let you know that Dee Dee is not your real mother. Christy is. Mia, this is what I'm talking about. Mia, Gypsy's trying to take your life. She is really trying to take your mom and dad. She already got your dad, you know, but she's trying to take your mom now too. She said the next day her mom let her out because they had an ENT appointment coming up. So that's where we'll leave it right there. I'm going to be going over chapters 12 and maybe a few more, maybe 12, 13, and 14 maybe. Again, it's a slow process because I don't like reading this book. It's really boring, but I'm doing it for y'all. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, please leave them below. If you have any questions, you have any commentary, let me know. I like feedback. If you feel I need to change the way how I do this, let me know, all right? This is just what Susie says. Tell me what you say in the comments. I read them. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. All right, guys? And I will see you soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.